Hey everybody, welcome to today's live stream. This is going to be a brainstorm. This is not office hours, this is not a podcast, this is going to be a live brainstorming. And because whenever we do these, what do I always say? I'm not wearing my glasses, I put on my glasses. So just to warm everybody up, we're going to be working in Mural today. Please don't do anything in Mural yet, but just join and get your anonymous animal cooking. And let's get ready to join in Mural. And while everybody starts joining, I'll talk about the point of what we're doing today. So today is going to be about brainstorming what we wish we could teach HR, recruiters, hiring managers about what we do. I think many of us are so frustrated with jobs, job descriptions, job titles, the job experience, the job interviews. There's so many things that are so messy for us. Hello, Rich, and hello, Himanshi. So there are so many things that are so ugly and so messy for us. And what I'm working on this year, and it'll probably take me the rest of the year, but I'm working on writing a very comprehensive HR, recruiter, and hiring manager training program. So what we're going to do today is we're going to be brainstorming in Mural on that. And this is an exercise with steps, so please don't do anything yet. Don't start anything yet, but just join Mural at the link below. If you go to deltacx.link, which is my URL shortener, /Mural, you should be allowed into the Mural completely anonymously. You don't need a Mural account. You don't have to give your name and information if you don't want to. And I'm just going to let this go for a few minutes while we let some people sign in to the Mural account. If you don't want to participate in the brainstorm, you can watch the live stream, or if you're watching the archive, hello. Thanks for joining us. It's August 6th. You can always subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe, please. It's the best way to let people know what we're doing. And also, if you like the videos, please press like on the videos. It helps YouTube know that this was a video that they should suggest to other people. So that's it. Simple algorithm stuff, everybody. So, and if you want to be more of a part of the HR training initiative, you can join our Slack workspace, which is deltacx.link/join Slack. And there we're having some people volunteer to help out with this. So far we've got Anonymous Rabbit, who is Tom. Hello, Anonymous Rabbit. Semi-Anonymous Rabbit. So I want to let some more people join. Please join the live Mural brainstorming. Otherwise, it's just going to be me and Tom. So I'm going to give it a few more minutes for more people to join. I know very often people don't really join my sessions until about 10 or 15 minutes in. I don't know if that means I should schedule them later. You tell me. But I see 7 people in LinkedIn. I see 6 in YouTube. Come on, everybody. Join the Mural board. I want you to help brainstorm what we wish. HR Plexus says, I don't see a link. I will type it into each chat room. So give me a moment. Try this link, everybody. Okay. And one for the YouTube chat room. Try that. And welcome to Anuj and to Sarush. So you should see the links on my screen. You should see the links in your chat room. Everybody is welcome to join in this brainstorming. This is part of an initiative I'm working on to make sure that to write some training for HR recruiters and hiring managers, because there's probably a lot we wish that they understood about what we do so that we can create better jobs. So you don't need a Mural account. Everybody is welcome. And we just want to see more people helping out in the brainstorm today. All right, we've got some people now. This is wonderful. So we've got 7 people joined. Thank you so much. Guys, don't do anything yet. This is a structured universe. Don't do anything yet. Want to let a couple of people... Oh, who is moving my stuff around? So what we're going to do is, this is kind of a structured universe. Let me give you the rules here, and also let me switch to viewing my screen So here we go. Here's my screen. Yes, you can see my screen, and we'll leave the chat open. So here's the rules for today. When you want to put a note in somewhere, and I'm going to show you where, these are color coded and color matters. So make sure that you are using yellow if this is just a guess or an idea that you have, but it hasn't happened to you and it hasn't necessarily happened to other people. So it's just something you think is true, but you don't really know. Use yellow. If it's something that has happened to you and you are writing about this problem or this idea because this is your personal experience with something, use blue. If it didn't happen to you, but you've spoken to people and you know that it's happened to them, then you want black. So again, the difference is blue, it happened to me. So blue, it's true. Black didn't happen to me, but happened to people I know. And yellow is didn't happen to me or anybody I know, but I think it could be true. So these are the color codes. And just make sure that when you are grabbing a sticky note, which you can grab from over here where it says text, make sure you're grabbing yellow, blue, or black based on that color coding. So what we're going to do today, oh, I did that too, isn't that funny? So what we're going to do today is we're going to start on the left side of the board, and I'm just going to give you guys a big block of open time to just drop problems. We're going to start with problems, and then we're going to move into ideas. So just drop problems, and I've got boxes for different problems. So all you need to do is drop a problem inside the box that it matches. So is this a problem with recruiters, whether they're in-house recruiters at a company, external recruiters that try to get you jobs? Is this a problem with a job title, a description, the required skills, the experience the job wanted, what education it expected you to have? Is this a problem with the job application, the interview, or something about the getting hired process, like a design challenge or something about the interviews? And then this is kind of an other box for anything that doesn't fit into any of the above boxes. Drop it into the other. So I would say go ahead and start dropping stuff in. I think you can just click in. No, I think if you just click somewhere on the board, no, double click. Yeah, if you double click, you'll get a note, and you can always pull down the color and change it for our color coding to blue or black. And if you did that by mistake, you can just click away, click on it, and hit delete on your keyboard. So everybody go ahead and start in. Ladybug, platypus, spider, rhino, other rhino, 2 rhinos, visiting bear. We've got a few more here. Crab, rabbit. So everyone just go ahead and start dropping some ideas in here. And right now these are problems. So these are not possible solutions. I want to hear more about the problems that you have had where you are frustrated, confused, disappointed, distracted, misunderstood, and angry. So again, think about your experiences with HR, recruiters, hiring managers, applications, interview processes. Get some ideas into each of these boxes, and we'll start by dropping a timer for 10 minutes and see where we are after we give everybody 10 minutes to put their ideas, I'm sorry, not ideas, these are problems. So before we get to ideas or possible solutions, let's just express the problem from as many angles as we can. And I've got the chat room open, so if anybody who is watching or participating has any problems, questions, something you're not sure about, just drop it into the LinkedIn or YouTube chat. I am watching that over here in this far right box, and I'll be happy to answer questions. That's a very big box, whoever did that. Someone moved my big... That's a huge box, visiting spider. Okay, we're off to a good start. We've got stuff in boxes. So again, if you're just joining us now, you can visit deltacx.link/mural. It's not on the bottom of the screen anymore, but you should see it up here, and you should see it in your chat room. deltacx.link/mural to join in on the brainstorming around what do we wish HR, recruiters, hiring managers understood about what we do. So we're going to start by identifying some problems. And if you're just joining us, the problems are color-coded. Blue means it happened to you. Black means it didn't happen to you, but it happened to people you know. And yellow means it didn't happen to you or people you know, but you think it could be true. So it just gives me a little sense of what's real for you versus things that you think are happening out there, but you don't know for sure. So we're focusing right now on problems, and after we spend some time on problems, I'm going to remove this big lavender box off to the side, and that will be ideas for possible solutions and improvements. So remember, right now we're not focused on solutions, improvements, or ideas. Let's really, really attack these problems. Okay, we are off to a great start. We've got roles are often not specific to UX, and it's expected to be a jack of all trades. Super. Some job title and description problems, requirements for coding knowledge versus functional knowledge. Job descriptions lack standardization. Oh, I got to zoom in to read this next one. Most of the times, companies seem to be looking for unicorns, despite job titles suggesting otherwise. Great point. Let's see. Can I see who wrote that? Thank you, Rabbit. Role doesn't match the job description. Yeah, and if for whoever wrote that, if you want to give an example or talk more about that, I would love to hear an example of what was a job description that you saw and what was the role actually. So I would love to get more information around that if you're comfortable sharing it. Problems with applications and interviews, lack of clarity around what they want in a portfolio. There are many different perspectives. Good point. Lengthy interview process with unprepared team to ask questions. Good point. Young UXers that don't value UXers with experience. Okay, so ageism in hiring. That sometimes you are interviewing with someone younger than you and they don't appreciate you if you are older. Companies want senior level talent for junior pay. Certainly possible. And thank you for using yellow. I interviewed for junior UX job, but later it was senior after a few interviews. Ooh, okay, that's not good. Companies should definitely be clear on what they want before they're dragging us through their hell. Every UX job, Rabbit says every UX job has a 2+ year requirement, so that is discouraging to people who don't have that much work experience yet. Totally agree. That's, these are all the things that I'm hoping to fix or improve by creating a training program. Interviews without the hiring managers feel like they have less value. Yeah, sometimes there's only so much you can get out of or with maybe an in-house HR person. Ghosting. Oh, yeah. Nobody likes ghosting. It's amazing. It's amazing that people think that's okay. Okay, Crab is working on one that says senior level talent is saturated and there's not enough junior and mid-level. Yeah, and that's definitely a cousin of all the UX jobs having a 2-year requirement, which of course helps keep juniors and some mid-levels out. So you can see some of these problems are going to end up related and feeding each other. I'm just going to kind of call this as a sporting event as everybody adds problems, but these are great. Keep them going. And if you want to use swear words, you can. I don't feel precious about this. This is really just for my knowledge, so please let it out and tell us all the truths. I can't make the best program for fixing this and improving this without hearing all of your truths, your worries, your problems, your frustrations. Let's get it all out there. That's what today's session's about. And for those of you watching the archive of this, today is August 6, 2020. I'll probably leave this board open for a couple of weeks in case you're watching this later. So feel free to drop by the board at deltacx.link/mural and add some of your own. Senior level talent saturated. Yep. Personal impression, too much emphasis on UI design. Yeah. What other problems, frustrations, what really pisses you guys off about applying for jobs, searching for jobs? Darren is here visiting Koala. Hello, Koala. We have some new animals here. Owl. So again, right now we're just focusing on problems, frustrations, things that piss you off, things that make you angry, things that are really broken. Let's really dive into the problem and then just drop your Post-its or your sticky notes wherever they belong. People want superstars, 10Xers, leaders, and facilitators over individual contributors. Great point. Thank you. Not everyone is a 10Xer and not everyone's a leader, and hopefully we get there, but it's a long road. Let's see. Setting expectations that the interview process will be detailed, only to find out the opposite is true. Ooh, I hear ya. I did an interview recently, and everybody was just lovely, but it seemed like they hadn't decided before they started hiring, like what the interview process would be and what the job design challenge would be, and they were kind of figuring it out as they were going, and my thought was, wow, everybody seems really nice, and I'm excited about this potential job, but I kind of wish they'd figured that out before I got pulled into this, because now it's making the process so long. HR isn't educated regarding different roles in design. Yes, I know. I've got to get that into this training. That's why we're talking about this. No knowledge of UX. People are just recruiting blind. Very, very true in many cases, especially if you end up talking first to recruiters or HR who just don't fully understand what we do, but this training program will aim to improve that. Rabbit is working on something that says that Rabbit applied for a volunteering opportunity labeled UX for 40 hours for a 6-month internship, but it was a sketch monkey job. That's supposed to teach me UX? Great point. Some of these internships and entry-level jobs seem to think that we are grunt workers. This is going really well. Let's add some more time on the clock, especially since we have some new people joining. If you are just joining, come on in. deltacx.link/mural. Everybody's welcome. You don't need a Mural account. You're going to get an anonymous animal. And is this a cat or a bear? I can't tell. Asking knowledge of outdated tools. I love that one. Thank you so much. Is that a cat? I can't tell what that animal is. Cat. Thank you, visiting cat. That's a great one. I was really surprised on LinkedIn the other day. It was trying to show me one of those like LinkedIn learning courses, and it was like Photoshop for UX designers, and I was like, not since 2009. Let's see what's going on up here. We've got Ladybug working on recruiters having the wrong info about the job, which is only discovered in the interview. Yeah, I've had that happen to me. So blue Post-it for it happened to me. Remember, everything is color coded, everybody. So, but you're doing a great job. I know all these blues means this really happened to you. So that's great. Cookie cutter job descriptions for sure. I know you get the feeling these job descriptions came out of some put sentences into a hat and pick them out. Design exercises are basically a waste of time. You guys know I deeply agree. I believe that design exercises, for the most part, are please guess at stuff with not enough time or information. So now we just learned how people guess at stuff. Boo. Rabbit is working on almost every job description I've read has extreme emphasis on tools. Fantastic point. I know that's already in my outline for the training, that what we do goes so far beyond tools. Let's see, can I resize this box? Will it? There we go. We'll make this box bigger in a downward direction. Asking for interns and expecting senior. Great one, Kat. Yeah, very true. So often people want, I've seen like internship, master's degree required. Well, hold on a moment. Is this an internship or not? Also, we see thinking that UXers can't do product design work even though the description screams UX. Yikes. Emphasis on tools we talked about. Ooh. No wire hangers. Oh boy, no puzzle. No puzzles not related to UX during the process. Ooh, it sounds like something Darren would write. Who wrote that? Let's see. Show info. It's Darren. I'm not saying you guys are predictable. I'm just saying I'm getting to know you. So thank you, Darren. Remember, for anything that doesn't fit the above boxes, there is an other box at the bottom if you want to put something in there. Otherwise, you know, keep dropping these into their relevant boxes. Job salary and rate is different across different recruiters. I've seen that too, and I know that different recruiters mark things up differently, and that just makes us play weird games with them, so they really need to stop playing weird games with us. Working with outdated job descriptions. Yeah, who wrote that? Because I'd like to get a little more information about that. That is Koala. So Koala, if you can hear me, I would love to get a little bit more information. When you say an outdated job description, is it that they're no longer hiring for that? Oh, that's Darren. Is it that they're no longer hiring for that, or they're asking for outdated tools or technologies like UX designer must use Illustrator? So if you can give me a little bit more color around that, that would be great. I'm going to flip over to LinkedIn and see how everybody's doing there. We have Aratrika here. Good to see you. And it's going to get meta when LinkedIn looks at LinkedIn. No internships for self-taught designers. Okay, that's an interesting one. Let's see who wrote that. Dragon, Dragon is a cat today. Dragon Cat. Dragon Cat, tell me more about that. Is it that they reject people for not having education, or they reject people for just kind of not knowing what they're doing? Because those are very different. So tell me more. Darren's added, using a job description written 2 years ago and not updated creates confusion during interviews. Okay. These are just great. Thank you all so much. And since you're all still on fire, I'm going to add a few more minutes. Heard from an acquaintance that they got asked things like, what is the size of a navigation bar on an iPhone 10 on an interview? I think it's ridiculous. This is so Googleable. That's true. What is the size of a navigation bar on an iPhone 10? It's like, this is like a Monty Python's Holy Grail question. Certificates. Oh, okay, I see. So for what you were saying, Dragon Cat, the problem was they were expecting a certificate. This person didn't have a certificate. Okay. Oh, great one just got added here. Let's see who wrote this one in. Let's see. This is, oops, way off to the side. I can't see. Dragon Cat. Dragon Cat says, giving their own problems to solve and design problems. Yeah, I was speaking with someone, I was writing on LinkedIn with someone yesterday who was applying for an internship, and the things they asked this person to do were absolutely unreasonable and clearly real work. And this was for an internship application before this person even had an interview, which means they're just getting applications in and they're just giving people real work to do when they don't even have the internship. And this person had literally 2 or 3 full days of work. And I said, you don't have to do this. You really don't. No internships for self-taught designers, certificates, and different education background. Okay, thank you. Insulting. Cookie cutter rejection letters chock full of lies. Yikes. Don't tell me I'm not what you're looking for when the description is... Yeah, sure. A lot of us get that. I have applied to jobs that I thought I could not be more perfect for, and then it's like, oh, we're going in another direction. My favorite thing in rejection letters, tell me what you guys think of this. I love when they write, unfortunately, we're going to go with other candidates. I think I once wrote back and said, well, if it's unfortunately, why aren't you going with me? Wah, wah. Like that. Unfortunately for who? So, yeah. Darren says, don't tell me I'm not what you're looking for when the description is a mirror image of my resume and you hire someone with 1/5 of what's actually listed. So true. So true. Okay, do you guys have more problems you want to... oh, good. There's more going. Rabbit's working on something. Dragon Cat working on something. And by the way, just so you guys know, way off on the right side of the board, if you just follow all the way over to the right, you'll see if you are anonymous today and you do want me to know who you are, just mention which animal you were and let me know your LinkedIn URL. Just because I do like to give credit to people who have good ideas and who contribute to the things that I create and co-create. So if you'd like to be anonymous, like Dragon Cat, that's fine. But if Dragon Cat or anybody else wants me to know who you are, just drop a note over here that says which animal you were and your LinkedIn URL. And I won't broadcast that on the screen for privacy, but thank you for that. And Koala's working on requiring portfolios and hiring someone who doesn't have one. Not realizing word will get out. Ooh, zing. Whew. Tough. Tough room. These are great. These are great problems that we absolutely need to improve or solve. And again, that's what I'm aiming at with my training. As you can imagine, there is a lot of training to create and write. If you are interested in being more of an active part in this training initiative, I am looking for people to work on... Right now, I have an outline. I'm looking for people to comment on the outline and help flesh it out and add more to it. So you can join the Slack room for that. Our Slack channel has a special HR training channel where we are focused on working on that. So if you'd like to be part of that, join the Slack universe over on Delta CX. Not getting a feeling to hire or not liked you design assignment. Ooh. I don't know who wrote that, but I'm going to need a little help on this one. Dragon Cat, can you help me out on this one down here where it's other problems? Did I read it wrong? Not getting a feeling to hire or not liked you design assignment. Are you saying that people are telling you they liked your design assignment, but then they're not hiring you? So tell me a little bit more about what you were shooting for there, because I'm not totally sure. And I know people are still writing, so I'll let you keep writing. Lots of great stuff still being added to the board. Thank you all. And when we move to the new section, to the other section of this board, if you still have something you want to add here, it is absolutely okay to go back and add it. Like I said, I'm going to keep this board live for a couple of weeks. So if you would like to come back later and share more thoughts on here, just come on back to deltacx.link/mural and you will be right back here and you can add some stuff. Because I'm probably not going to have a lot of time to work on this necessarily in the coming weeks. It might end up a little bit more of a Thanksgiving project for me. But but if anybody wants to work, I've got, what, a 19-page outline for this training so far. So if anybody wants to join me on improving that, I would love to hear from you. Okay, let's see. heard from an acquaintance. Oh, yeah, we heard that one. And we got that one, too. Let's see what's going on up here. Hello, Caroline. Hiding troublesome leaders from people during the interview process. Yeah, that's an interesting question. What do you do when there are difficult people in the workplace? Do you expose that or do you hide that? Obviously, you should get rid of them, but that's a really interesting one because you always hope you see all of the warts and the problems, but of course, people will want to hide that where they can. Interns at small startups are asked to do strategy and operational work with no support. Oh boy, do I agree. I had a conversation with a startup recruiter about that a couple of months ago. Oh gosh, they wanted a UI designer with 3 years of experience to help them strategically expand into the Asia Pacific market. And I was like, say what? People with frankly horrible portfolios getting jobs when others don't even get a chance. Yeah, I think that all comes back to a lot of jobs don't know how to assess. Syed says, how do I tell which animal I am? Syed, I think if you look at the bottom, I think the one with the star is you. I've got my picture in here, but I think the one with the star is you, and that way you know what animal you are. Or do I have a star? No, I have a star because I'm a facilitator. If you start typing, you should see what animal you are. I don't know. I don't come in as animals. I don't know how to tell what animal anybody is. Guys, how do you tell your own animal? Saya, didn't you pick an animal when you joined? I really love this one about interns being expected to define the UX and CX strategy, or as we saw Augie Ray post on LinkedIn recently, that you're expected to make the company customer-centric. Yep, Darren knows it. Cronyism, sexism, ageism, racism. Darren, I think you can get them all in that box. Ageism, racism, it's all in there. People who wave the diversity and inclusion flag and then are not following through. We've got, it's about who you know, not work or skills. That is sometimes very true, unfortunately. Then Syed, which animal did you pick? That's probably you. I don't see your name yet. Let's see. Caroline is crab. We have 2 rabbits today, so Maya and unnamed rabbit. All right, looks like you guys are winding down for this side of the board, so I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to reveal the other part of the board and what part 2 of this exercise will be. And again, if you think of more problems, you can certainly put it back there. But now if you move over to the middle of the board, you will see, now let's talk about ideas. Let's talk about ideas, improvements, possible solutions. What do you think can be done? What can be improved, rethought, redesigned, done differently, made more efficient? And we have the same boxes so that they're broken up into the same areas. What are some ideas around recruiters, in-house and external? What are some ideas around job titles and descriptions, required skills, experience, education? What are your ideas around the job applications, interviews, and the whole process of interviewing and getting hired? Plexus says, on my screen, at the bottom with the row on the animal icons, your icon is first. And then Debbie, and then everybody else. So, Syed, maybe your animal is the first animal. And our new friend, Miss RP, is here on the question, how do you know which animal it is? Okay, everybody now figured out. The first animal next to this telephone, this first animal is you animal. Okay, so ideas. Again, ideas, possible solutions, improvements, something that could be more efficient, something that could be less frustrating. This is just open idea brainstorming. It could be very blue sky. It could be a dreamy dream that is unrealistic or realistic. Don't worry about, is this realistic? Can this really happen? This is all about creating training for HR, recruiters, and hiring managers. Any improvements we make are going to improve jobs. They're going to improve careers. They're going to improve companies. Dream big. So just get them into these boxes, and again, you can still add stuff over on the problem side if you're thinking of more problems. Totally cool. But if you've got some ideas, see my square pegs and round holes talk. That's Darren. And Darren, I did bookmark that one because I got the feeling that was going to be relevant here. So I haven't watched it yet, but I know that that is relevant. Let's see, what else? Some way to incentivize external recruiters to prioritize candidates over clients. Oh, that is a beautiful dream. I love it. Yeah, dream big, people here. This is what we wish would happen. Anything you think can be an improvement, I want to hear about it, because if any of these are possible or appropriate dreams, we'll get them in the training as what we believe people should do. We can always say, this is the highest standard of treating your UX people right, and this is an acceptable standard. If you can't meet that highest standard, at least do this. Standardized titles, so we as learner and hiring manager know what they want. Totally agree. We did a podcast on that recently where I talked about what UX titles should be, because they really are an unstandardized mess. I was asking how cats have their name beside them on the cursor. I think when you join, I think you have the option to say if you want a name next to your animal. But again, I've never joined as an animal, so I don't know. And I don't know if there's a way to change it. I just know the facilitator side, but not your side, so I apologize. Ditto on titles. Have experts define what are minimum responsibilities per job family title and put them in a standard so recruiters and other folks actually have a reference point. Thank you, Visiting Rabbit. That is definitely on the to-do in the outline of the training that I'm working on now. So thank you, Rabbit. Let's see, what else are people posting? Oh, good. We've got some posts down here. Let's take a look. For military and spouse, improve ways for them to get the resources they need to get an interview. Interesting. Let's see, who wrote that? I might have some follow-up questions for you. Caroline. Caroline, Visiting Crab. So for your military spouse, are you saying when military is moving with the spouse that they should do more to help the spouse get a job? Are you saying there should be better resources for veterans in general? So I would love a little bit more information maybe from Thank you, Caroline. There's only one cat here, Syed. So if you are Dragon Cat, if you are a cat named Dragon, then it's you. There are no other cats here today. Stop putting unskilled people in leadership. Darren, that's a beautiful dream. I hope we can create that. And that's still a really good point for me to put into the training, that very often there are bad leadership fits at companies. And that's going to, I don't want to say trickle down, but that's certainly going to flow in a bad way down the hierarchy. And I certainly experienced that at some of the jobs where I've worked, where I saw a company where nearly 40 people quit from the UX department because of who they put in leadership. And we all went to HR and said, we are leaving because of these two people. And HR didn't care. So there you go. Stop being biased on people with a design education. Non-traditional backgrounds can open up new perspectives. Yeah, I know I don't care about education. Oh, we've got someone joining us just now. Sea Lion. Welcome, Sea Lion. So just to catch you up, we are adding Post-its that are color-coded. So see the top for the color coding. Yellow is a guess or assumption or hypothesis, something you think is true but hasn't really happened to you or anybody you know. Blue is something that has absolutely happened to you. Black is something that is true for other people and may not be true for you. The color coding doesn't mean as much on the ideas side because these are just ideas and possible solutions, but the color coding really helps on the problems side. So visiting Sea Lion, feel free to add some stickies both on the problem side where you're frustrated, confused, disappointed, distracted, misunderstood, and angry, and on the ideas side, what can be improved, rethought, redesigned, done differently, made more efficient. Oops, I hit the wrong button. And I'll zoom in. Talk more about how you plan to onboard a new employee. Caroline, I'd love to hear more about that. Did you have an experience where onboarding went really badly? Was there something about onboarding that you didn't expect or didn't see coming? I'd love to hear more about that if you don't mind sharing. Have internal UX staff work with HR on job descriptions, etc. I know that seems obvious, but I feel like sometimes it is just not happening. Okay, implement HFI screening process. Darren, there's an HFI screening process? What if people haven't gone through HFI? I'm going to Google that while you guys work. HFI screening process. No, it's giving me HIV screening process. This is HFI's UCD process. And other than that, it seems to be HIV. So Darren, if you have a link for that, if you have a link for HFI screening process or more information about that, that would be great because I just I just Googled HFI screening process and yeah, I know it's Human Factors International, but I just Googled for it and I got HIV. I didn't get anything that said screening process. No HFI. Not a fan. Okay. Well, I can't say if I'm a fan or not without seeing what their screening process is, and right now I can't find it. Human Factors International Screening. Well, I know that they do training and they have a test, but that doesn't mean screening for counterfeit UX. Is this what Darren's talking about? Darren, is this what you're talking about? On it. Yeah. Are you talking about hiring and assessment tests screening for counterfeit UX? Multiple choice questions. You get free tests if you have over 100 million a year. I would think you would need tests if you have less than that. I've never seen anybody use HFI tests. Have any of you ever taken one of these HFI tests? I've never been asked to. Okay, Darren says yes, that's what he's talking about. Okay, let me drop that in. HFI over NNG all day. Yeah, I mean, I need to know more about what you're talking about, but I can always contact you privately for more color around this because I don't know if you mean that you're looking for a certification or if you're looking for these screening tests. But interesting, worth learning more about. Educate leadership to foster more fitting salary structures. Interesting. Be transparent of timeline of when they're expected to make hiring decisions. That's a good one. I think that's very true. Sometimes we feel like we're interviewing for months. Well, when did you need this? Oh, someone was writing about HFI and it just disappeared. And okay, Darren, I guess will contact me later. Thanks, everybody. Yes, trickle-down impact is off the charts, adds Darren. And Darren. Okay, super. Let's see. Stop being by. Okay, we talked about that. Bring in UX consultants to fix hiring issues. Yes, I am going to be recommending that in my training, though of course I'm hoping my training will address, improve, or fix most common problems. But I am definitely in the training saying that if you really have nobody at your company who can assess UX from looking at someone's portfolio and or interviewing them and talking to them, then you need an outside consultant to help you make these hires. So again, if you want to be more involved, just join our Slack channel, deltacx.link/join Slack. We've got an HR training channel, and I'm looking for people to get more involved in building this training. Do we really need cover letters with a resume and portfolio and a presentation? Good question. I have seen applications that say, we want to read your cover letter. We promise we'll read your cover letter. Please include a cover letter. And then so many times I feel like nobody cares about the cover letter. They're not even going to look. So I agree there. It's you know, save me time. So tell me what you really need. Have an apprenticeship type program in companies, not an internship. Okay, good differentiation. Good thing for me to add to the training. What's the difference between an internship and an apprenticeship? Great idea there. And special thanks to who wrote that? Visiting Rabbit. Have more structures supporting proper UX learning similar to coding schools, which offer proper training on many occasions. Let's replace boot camps with better structures. Yeah, I think that we're all really talking about apprenticeships, and those are important, and they're just not being done enough. So, good idea. Do not require or place any value on any certifications from companies like HFI. There is no UX Kool-Aid. And I think I agree. I don't think we should, thank you Ladybug, I don't think we should necessarily require any particular certificate or any education. If I look at a portfolio and you look like you're doing some good solid work, I don't care how you learned it. Good work is good work. So if HFI has a screening process, I'm curious about that. But I definitely wouldn't require anyone to have an HFI certificate or an NNG certificate or a bootcamp certificate. I think that the value of those really ranges for people. People ask me, should I go and get those? Should I do NNG? Should I do HFI? I said, only if you think you're going to learn something new that helps you, and or if you think it's going to impress your current employer or next employer. If it's not going to impress people or help you get a job, and it's not going to teach you something you don't know, then I'm not sure why you're doing it. So look for education with value. Instead of chastising poor uninformed HRs, let's train them. Specialists that walk them through a few hours per day through good portfolios and what makes them good. Yeah, who wrote this? Thank you, Visiting Rabbit. That's definitely going to be part of the training. We are going to look at portfolios, resumes. I want these people. I mean, this is going to be a training program. This is not going to be a 20-minute video of me yapping. This is going to be a real training program. So, yes, great idea, and I've thought about that. Onboarding, how to get started on the design team. Let's see, what else do we have? A step-by-step portal to let you know where you are in the hiring process after you apply. I really like that. Thank you to whoever put that. That's really great. Obviously, that speaks to, thank you, Caroline. That speaks to, oh, thanks, Darren. I'll check in with you privately later on this. Thank you. Caroline, great idea. It really speaks to, in some cases, how terrible a lot of these portals are. They make you sign up for an account and then give you no reason to log back in later because there is no update on your stuff. You just get ghosted. So, excellent. What else? Rabbit says more emphasis on skills than what? Skill set? Oh, you mean than on education? Rabbit, just make sure you're clear. More emphasis on skill set than education, or than resume. Let me know. Always be specific, because then I'll poke you. Say not specific enough. All right. I know we're winding down. We've been doing this almost an hour. Thanks to everybody for this great brainstorming session. More emphasis on skill set instead of too much focus on tools. Ah, yes. Good idea. Visiting Rabbit. Again, if you want me to know who you are, please drop it over on the far right in which animal were you? But we've got a lot of great stuff on the board right now. Let's zoom out and see if anybody is still adding anything. Sea Lion, I hope you were able to add some stuff. I know you came a little bit late, but thank you for joining. Okay, I see Cat and Rabbit are still adding things, but I know we'll be winding down. So as we wind down, you're welcome to continue putting up some thoughts. And again, I'm going to leave this board open for, a couple of weeks, if not more. If you think of anything else, feel free to swing on back here. I'm going to shift back to me for a moment. And let's also remind people that if you would like to join the Slack channel, just join right here, deltacx.link/join Slack. There is a Slack channel within our workspace that is called HR Training, and you can join there if you are interested in being more of an active part of the outline and the training itself. Right now, it's just an outline. We don't have everything built into it, but I always start with an outline first, and then I start writing individual slides and pieces of content. So we're still working on that outline, and I think I've got 19 pages. So this is going to be a pretty serious training program. I know eventually I might have to trim some of it down, but let's start with everything, and then we can always look at trimming it. So if you'd like to be a more active part of this initiative, please do join us on Slack and join the HR training club in the room. I'm going to switch back and see if we've got some new things, even though I'm not sharing my screen anymore. Let's see. All posts ask for good communication skills. How do we know if we have good communication skills or not? Yeah, that's one of those weird things where I find that when people ask for some of these skills, there's also an idea of who self-assesses as bad at that. Whenever you see good communication, does anyone look at that and go, oh, no, wait, I'm terrible at that. I'm really bad. Communication, I suck. What's the point of putting it if nobody's going to look at it and go, oh, they don't want me? I'm terrible at communication. So, good point. They should only include things that are relevant, accessible. Let's see. Let's replace boot camps with better structures. I think we talked about that. Yeah, I think we are winding down here. Whew! I'm ready for sleeping. How about you guys? That was a lot. It was beautiful. Who moved my logo? Everybody, you did such a beautiful job. I know there's just a few people left. Sea Lion, Cat, Rabbit, Ladybug, thank you so much for this. I really hope you'll join the Slack room and continue in these endeavors. Again, you can come back to the board and add some things to the board if you'd like. I'm going to flip over to LinkedIn to see if I missed any chatter there. Ah, Tarina was here. And Carol Ann was here. Oh, what a great bunch of people who checked in with us at one point or another. I see most people have left, but that's wonderful. So let's wind down. I see people are leaving the live stream. So thanks again to everybody for a really wonderful brainstorm. I'm so happy with you giving some time to help this initiative. And like I said, there's so many things I'm juggling right now that I don't think this training is going to be ready until the end of the year. But I get the feeling that for me, it's going to be a big November, December push. And that hopefully it's the kind of thing we'll have ready for Q1. So keep the ideas coming, keep the collaborations coming. Thank you so much for joining in. Please remember to subscribe on YouTube, tell people about the channel, hit the like button if you want YouTube to recommend my videos to more people, because that's all it takes. And on that note, I guess we'll play it out. And guys, please join next week. Next week we have amazing podcasts lined up. I'm out of my mind with this. Monday we're going to be talking about the science and technique of UX research with Michelle Ronson. Tuesday is Office Hours Ask Me Anything. Wednesday, Dr. Seth Finkel will be back to talk about recognizing gaslighting and being set up to fail at our jobs. Really big problem that pretty much all of us have experienced. And Thursday, Dr. Ruth Diaz will be talking about improving your resilience, which is also really important for what we do. And hopefully she can still make it. So again, thanks to everybody. And I guess on that note, I will play us out. Have a great weekend and see everybody soon.
Thanks for watching. Delta CX is available for consulting and projects related to CX and UX strategy, leadership, training, problem finding, problem solving, and innovation. Learn more at deltacx.com.